Guys, we got another toy here, this time from Garmin, and it is the new Zumo XT. So let's tear this thing open and see what we got. All right. You can pause on this if you want. And there it is. This just came out, as far as I can tell, in the last 2 weeks. I had no idea they were coming out. I just happened to run into an ad for one on Amazon and immediately bought it. I have the Zumo 396 and I'm not really impressed with it. I'm hoping that this new Zumo XT kind of fills a lot of the gaps that the 396 has. So let's get this knife out of the way and then get the box open. And there she is, the unit itself. Set that off to the side for now. Bunch of cardboard, the instructions, this bag looks like it's the RAM mount parts. We'll go through that in a minute. And we've got a USB cable, which I would imagine is for transferring data from your computer to the Zumo. Holy crap, really, Garmin? So it's USB-A to a mini USB. I can't believe that. It's 2020, guys. Get with the program. Power cable, some zip ties, the clip mount for the back of the unit, some hardware, and a couple of ring terminals. Get the box out of the way. All right, so let's do a close-up on the unit itself. Let's get the screen protector off of there. Oh, that's everybody's favorite part. I really like that this unit, I think you can probably see the glossy screen on there. This finally has a, I think the term is capacitive touchscreen. It's just like your smartphone. It's got that nice glossy screen. It's a lot more responsive than the old touchscreens that Garmin traditionally uses. Flip it around. You can see this red square is actually where the mount snaps into, and then you've got these contact points here where the quick release mount makes its electrical connections. Then a speaker for if you have it in the automotive mount. You can stick this in your car and the directions will come out of that speaker instead of looking for a Bluetooth connection. Your power button, the micro SD card slot, so you could add different maps to this. Although I don't know what you would need to add to this because it already comes with street navigator maps and topographic maps. But we'll get into all that in a few minutes. And then the last port you have down here is a mini USB. I cannot believe Garmin is still using that. That is nuts. The main problem that I have with mini USB cables, most people are not ever going to hook up their Zumo to their computer and use the Basecamp software to transfer tracks or routes or maps or whatever. Most people just buy the unit, use the maps that are on it, and they're good for the whole life of the unit. But if you ever want to connect this to your computer, being that it has a mini USB jack, you have to make sure that the mini USB cable you have supports data transfer and is not just a charging cable. So the easiest thing is to just make sure you don't lose this cable that's branded Garmin. Of all the Garmin units that I have, I always inevitably lose that cable, and then you try and hook it up to your computer with some cable that you find in the junk drawer, and it won't work because it's a charging cable, not a data cable. Being that it's 2020 now, I can't believe that Garmin didn't put a USB-C cable on there. That just blows my mind. So hopefully that's not a sign of things to come as far as shortcomings with this unit, but we will find out here in a few minutes. Let's get it off to the side for now so we can go through everything we've got. Obviously these are zip ties, we don't need to talk about those. This bag with all these small parts in it has it's all the hardware that you need to mount this quick release bracket onto either a RAM mount or whatever mount you decide to use on your motorcycle. So I'm not going to open all of these until we get to the installation, but those screws go through here and mount this to your RAM mount or whatever mount you decide to use. The power cable that comes with these, it probably has a different connector on the end, but the rest of it I'm sure is the same as all of the other Garmin powered cables, the Zumo power cables. Make sure when you open the bag that you don't accidentally throw away this bag. It's got 2 tiny little screws in it, and you need those to put, well, I guess you only need one of them, not both of them, but this cable slips up through the mount. I'm imagining something like this, but I don't really know, I haven't tried this yet. Yeah, like that. And then you need one of these little tiny screws to go in that hole in the back of the mount to lock your cable's connector in here. So don't miss these when you open the bag. Make sure you save those. It does come with 2 of them because you're probably going to drop one of them. So that was nice of them to include an extra. And then it comes with 2 ring terminals so that you can connect directly to your battery. I would not recommend wiring directly to your battery. If you wire directly to your battery, then this mount is always powered, even when your motorcycle is turned off. And so when you're parked overnight or even over the winter, this will slowly drain the battery on your bike, and you could be left stranded somewhere, especially if you forgot that the GPS was mounted to your bike and left it parked overnight. Your battery might be dead in the morning. So I would not recommend using these. I guess it was a nice gesture that they include them. I would suggest wiring the end of these 2 cables to a switched power source on your bike, which we'll talk about once we get to installation. The last bag we've got here is all of the mounts. They give you a RAM mount arm that, if it's anything like the last Zumo I bought, is branded Garmin. Yep. I don't know who actually made it, but this is no different than any other RAM arm for a 1-inch ball. And then it comes with this square end where the quick release mount for the GPS actually mounts to. Again, branded Garmin. No different than a RAM branded 1-inch ball with I think it's called AMPS mount, this square here. So that is what mounts to the back of this, and then your arm, and then onto the bike. If you choose to use a ram mount, my bike has a different setup on it, which you'll see on the installation, but they give you this because this is what 99% of people that buy one of these, this will work for them. Then we've got this piece. I don't know what you want to call it, but it's meant to clamp onto a bar, whether it's your handlebars or the bar up on the dash of your motorcycle. I know as far as handlebars, it'll work for 7/8 or 1-inch bars. I have no idea how small it'll work if you want to use it on a different bar, but not too complicated. And then there's spacers for this, depending on which size of bar you're mounting to. The different screws, again, depending on what you're going to use. Or a U-bolt designed to just go around your handlebar. This on one side of the bar, the U-bolt on the other. Pretty straightforward. The nuts for the U-bolt and 2 caps to put on the end. So you've got this installed on your bike, you've got the nut on here, but there'll be a little bit of thread sticking out. You just put a cap on the end of it so nobody gets scratched. So that's it for the unboxing, and we'll get over to installation.